Hello people of the interwebs, I'm Jeremy Pound from Juicy Results, here with Kate Volman from Marketing Divaz, and we've got another great video to help you with your internet marketing. Today we're going to talk about SEO for humans, which we thought was a funny title. But what we find when we meet other people that do SEO or business owners who have done some SEO, everyone gets so wrapped up in the technology and those little details about like how long your domain's been registered that affects. Everyone likes to know those little surprising tidbits about how Google works. But at the end of the day, Google is a product for humans. And if you can understand how Google works, you can understand how SEO works.
So let's talk a little bit about how Google works. And they obviously want to be known as the most amazing search engine, which, I mean, really,
They pretty much are.
They pretty much are, because how many of you Googled it at some point today? So Google, they want you to find what you're searching for. So when you type something in, they want you to find the exact page that you're looking for and know that you've got what you wanted. So when somebody gets onto your website, when they have to push the back button, Google's keeping track of that. Obviously, that they didn't find what they were looking for, they needed to keep searching. So when they get onto a website and they don't have to back up and they don't have to do anything else, Google looks at that and it's a success. So Google ranks that website higher for that specific product or service that the person had searched, which is awesome. So Jeremy, tell us how Google does their rankings.
Sure, well the truth is nobody knows. Right? Google doesn't publish their actual algorithm because if they did, people like us would game the system. But what they do is they set guidelines, and they're very open about what they want to see happen because they have, they're very idealistic. They want, like she said, you to find exactly what you're looking for. So they do publish this. But we have these great communities and people like Moz who go out there and just, put together this information. And so we start to come up with charts like this, like Moz has published about the factors that have the most influence on your ability to rank in Google, which means that you come up when people are searching for you, okay? So when Google was invented in the late 90s, before that, there was tons of search engines. And I remember when someone first told me about Google in like 2001, and I was like, aren't they a little late to the game? I mean, there's already Excite and Yahoo and AltaVista. I mean, that's really what I thought is like, there's another, that battle's already been won. Little did I know, here we are. But what's great is that Google made a game-changing change to the way that search engines rank and determine what you're looking for. So before Google existed, the way computers worked and ultimately search engines is they went out there and they databased every web page in the world. And they could actually do this back then, when there was just a few million web pages. And then it was just like a search in computer programming. This page used that term 6 times, so it's going to be number 2. And this page used that term 8 times, so it's going to be page number 1. And it was that simple. And as soon as people like me found out about that, we started using the term 15 times. And so we leapfrogged the guy that was inside it. And the results were really crappy. So this is, kind of what happened. So when Google came around, they had been doing that themselves, and they said, you have a commercial interest to game the system. If you know how our algorithms are working, you're selling herbal shampoo, you're going to tell me that you have the best website in the world on herbal shampoo. But what Google did is they started looking for third-party validation, right? It's the same thing when you hear an advertisement on TV or someone's trying to sell you something, you're like, well, sure, you're telling me that because you want to make the sale. But when Kate over here says, go talk to Bob or Matt because their products are amazing, she really doesn't have a commercial interest in that, and so I listen, right? Well, search engine rankings are that simple, and that's why this is SEO for humans, right? So if you take a look at this chart here, and you see all this blue, this is the way that other websites link back to you. When the New York Times is talking about herbal shampoo, are they linking to my site? Are they linking to another site? Are there millions of sites talking about herbal shampoo linking back? And what keyword text are they using when they link back to it? So they're making millions of little, tiny decisions about context. But basically what they're doing is they're looking for third-party validation. So in the last decade, it's been all about website links. Now it's just as much about social media, which is what we've been talking about. So they call it social signals, and basically, they think that will be just as important, that millions of people are sharing your content, tweeting about you. When someone, tweets about herbal shampoo, are they linking to your site, or are they linking to someone else's site? So you start to see how this works here. So
and
that's
I love how when you say Google's like a popularity contest.
Yes,
it's
a
the more
great way to
people
say
that
it.
are going on the site, they know that it's actually relevant to these people, and it has the products and services that they're looking for.
So everything we talk about in this video is a dramatic oversimplification.
Yes.
It's important that you understand that the Google algorithm is just, probably infinite lines of code. I mean, I can't imagine. And it's been said that not one person knows every ranking factor. So it's making this unbelievably sophisticated decision on your behalf about what you're really looking for and what this page is about. But when you zoom way out to like 100,000 foot, it looks kind of like this, which is 70% is what are other people saying about you. And then this green area is what's actually on your site. Very, very important, very important. But however, I can just go out there and have the same thing on my page as another company, so then they default to this. These other little things are all of those little things like your registration and hosting data, your traffic, all the stuff that, people seem to get wrapped up in. And they spend all their time in this stuff because it's cooler to talk about, but it doesn't get you, it helps you get ranked. Everything is important. But if you understand what Google's trying to do, and you're building a website or you're working on a website for your business, you're going to make much better decisions about how to rank. And we do it all the time here.
And it's exciting as a business owner because you have control over that. You have control over what you're sharing on your site, the content that you're creating, and it's beneficial for you to create quality content that your target buyer personas are actually going to want to find. So this is a really good thing. You don't have to worry about all those like meta tags and descriptions that people are always talking about. A lot of firms talk about. That's what it's such a mystery. There's no way you can know. Don't let us just do it. No, you should have an idea of what an SEO firm is doing for you if you're working with them.
At the end of the day, if you have the best products and people are saying great things about them, and you create original, compelling content, you're gonna win. It doesn't matter if you're doing $10,000 a year or $10 million a year or $10 billion a year. It's very democratic. You just need great products, great service, great marketing, and you're going to rise to the top with the right people at your assistance. There's still some technical things you need to do right, but no amount of technical sophistication is going to overcome bad products, bad marketing. It's all pretty fundamental. So take a look at this on the screen. It's our best example of SEO for humans. And we hope now, when you're at your next cocktail party talking about SEO, you're going to have a much better conversation than about how long your domain is registered for. So if you want to know more about internet marketing tips like this, you can check out juicyresults.com or marketingdivaz.com for great and unique small business marketing.